Let's go. Come on.
Tonight, it's Live with Vince Eliot.
Live with Vince Eliot.
Tonight on Live with Vince Eliot, speaker, business coach, consultant, and author, it's Dr. Nicole Farmer.
Turning dreams into reality.
And keeping the show on track, co-host Erica Mack.
Erica Mack. Who's the Mac? Let's get it.
Let's go. Another Tuesday.
It is.
Welcome to Live with Vince Eliot. I am Vince Eliot.
And she is Erica Mack, and welcome back to another great Tuesday to all our viewers out there. We want to go ahead and remind you, since we're starting off right now, to go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, to make sure that you go and subscribe on YouTube, and not only subscribe, but that you like and share, that you like us and that you share us. It is very important to us and to our very existence.
Yeah, that's right. And we will not exist without you. We won't go into all the algorithm hatred that I have, but that's a whole nother story. Listen, we are glad to be back live. We did a couple replays, but today we are live. I'm actually here, and Erica's here, and are bringing back our guest that we love to have with us. Dr. Nicole Farmer's back on the show today.
Yay!
Yeah. And so she's going to give us a follow-up to something she talked about last time. I know if you saw the countdown, it said something about how to basically survive during this pandemic with your business. Right. So she's kind of doing a part B to that, but only like, talking about more in depth in terms of what we're going to do with this money, how we're going to grow our business. So I won't give it all away. I'll let her talk about it when she comes on. In the meantime, you heard Erica. Subscribe, share, like, do all of those things, notifications, so you can be in the loop. And when we start giving away some great prizes and all types of things, you'll be eligible by being a subscriber. In the meantime,
Absolutely.
Erica, how was your week?
Great. I had a great week. This weekend was my husband's birthday, so we celebrated that.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday! And so he turned the big 4-0, as he tells it. It was so funny because he kept saying, like last year before, I'm 40. And then he gets up on his birthday party. He's like, on the road to 50. It's like, can you just enjoy 40 first? Let's just start there. Let's enjoy 40. But one thing I did do was I gave, wrote this kid's book, literary book, a couple of years ago, and it hadn't been illustrated. And so I got someone to illustrate it for him.
Oh, wow.
And so I surprised him with that. And so he's, next is to go ahead and get it published and things like that. So had a really great weekend. He enjoyed his birthday, so that was good.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, it was another great week for me.
Yes.
When I'm doing production, it's always a good thing. And so, I try to get in as much production as possible, different size of it, pre-production, post-production. Since the last time we went live, it's been quite a bit, as a matter of fact. I won't give it all away until, it's the right time. Yeah.
Right, got some good stuff coming down the pipe.
Got some good stuff coming down the pipe. So anyway,
viewers be looking out because it's some really good stuff.
That's right. So in the meantime, we'll go to our favorite segment. You know what that is. It's time for In Other News.
And now for news you may or may not be able to use. News other than Trump, COVID, or civil unrest. It's In Other News. Live from one of our remote studios, it's news anchor Erica Mack.
Oh, and welcome back to another great week again of In Other News. So my first story is doctor and nurses pack up their SUV and drive through a snowstorm to save a premature baby. So this happened actually in Texas. You know that they had that snowstorm and all that type of stuff. So they're not used to that type of weather. And so in this weather, this particular young lady went into labor, and she thought she was just like having just regular, like, I guess there's this thing like pre-labor cramps or whatever, but she was only 24 weeks, so she should not have been in labor. And so her mother they got her in the car, drove her to the hospital that was near their home, which is really like a level 1 hospital, and drove her to that hospital. And she was actually in full labor and had to deliver the baby. Well, that's not good because it's a level 1 hospital and the baby needed NICU. So this doctor that was 55 miles away in Houston an Austin hospital, finished his shift up, got a couple of his nurses from the NICU, gathered them together, got material together to drive to this hospital to get the baby in safe conditions, to like build this makeshift NICU for this baby to survive. And so that was, very thoughtful and tremendous of them in that whole unit, because the baby was born at 1 pound, like 1 pound and a couple of ounces. And so I just thought that was really great, because I have experienced that with my nieces. They were born 1.5 and 1.6, and to know how important that a NICU is, and for the doctor to do that, to get to drive in a snowstorm, an ice storm that they're not used to at all, and go and assist to help this baby live, was just amazing.
Wow. Yeah. That, what I find out is the crazier the world gets, we still have these amazing stories of humanity. And it's almost like as one side increases, the other side increases.
Yeah.
And you find that there are people out there that they have something within them that they will put their own life on the line sometimes to save somebody that they don't even know, and to go through extreme measures. Yeah.
And that's what that doctor was saying. He was like, he just couldn't find it in himself, even though, the hospital was calling around, like really trying to get some assistance. And everyone, their units were full or they were busy. And that doctor said he couldn't go home. And it wasn't in himself to leave that baby without support. So they got the baby stabilized and was able to airlift the baby to a hospital that could full service the baby. So that was a great thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Hey, listen, they got blessings coming their way. No question about that.
Yeah, to take that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so happy for that baby. And the mother.
No, I was just going to say, if you're not familiar with our segment in other news, this is what we do. We talk about things other than COVID, Trump, and civil unrest. There's more going on than those things in the world. And so there's enough people talking about that. So we want to share some things in other news. What else you got?
And in other news, this is your favorite right here. So this homeowner found that they had a gas leak in their home somewhere, and this story particular here happened in Tennessee, and so Seaver County, Tennessee, to be exact. Mm-hmm. So I guess they have one of those houses that have the crawl, and their heating unit is under their house and things like that. Mm-hmm. So they go out, they call in for someone to come in to look at it, a contractor to come in, check it out, whatever the case. Contractor goes under the house and finds 3 sleeping bears.
Whoa.
So they were baby cubs. The mother apparently, so they were in hibernation, and the mother was out, I guess, probably looking for food or something for the babies or something, because what happened was they had to go under the house when they found out. So they had to like lure the baby out with some food or something like that. They had to like poke them, wake them up, whatever the case. And so the mother ran off, left the cubs, whatever. She ran off. And when she came, they didn't think she would come back, because bear nature is when they leave their child, they leave them. They don't come back to them. So the mother, but so happened that they watched and everything, and the mother did come back to get her cubs. And so they were able to give them stability, find them a place away from that home, from the hibernation. But can you imagine finding out that you have bears under your house sleeping? Or even like, what if you were coming out the house one day and they just decide to wake up and come out? Like, what?
Man, listen, I'm going to tell you where I would have been scared. Is, first of all, I used to work a job where I had to go to crawl spaces under people's homes.
Yes.
A lot. I used to run fiber or not fiber, but cable.
Yeah.
So I ran into like some things that you just don't ever want to see. You know, dead animals in such a way that I won't even go into it. If I'd have ran up on those cubs, the first thing I would have been a little nervous about is them waking up and seeing me and getting scared and attacking.
Yeah.
The next thing would have been, there's a mama or papa around close by, and I'd have been scooting up out of there so quick.
Yeah.
That's the thing that would have bothered me. But fortunately, everything worked out and nobody got mauled.
No, and they were able to get them out safely.
If mom would have came back while they was up under, it was going to be a problem.
A big problem.
Was she was, they was swore they was trying to hurt her babies.
A 2,000-pound problem.
Well, I tell you what, I'm excited to get to tonight's show. And so I'm going to go ahead and get ready to introduce our guest right after we take a brief break. So listen, this is your opportunity, if you haven't done so, to contact friends, family, whoever, because I guarantee you, if you're watching, a minimum of 10 people who are either have their own business, starting their own business, want to start their own business. Somebody falls in that category that and probably everybody that wants to do that. And so we're going to be talking about that and more. I mean, we got all this grants and loans and stimulus checks and all that. And typically we kind of do certain things when that money comes in, but is that the way wealthy people think? We'll talk about it right after this. Hey everybody, Vince Eliot saying thank you for tuning in. Real quick, I wanted to invite you to become partners with us and contribute to our success. Our success is your success. One way that you can do that is by subscribing to our YouTube page, The Vince Eliot. Click on the notification so that you are notified when we go live or upload new content. Secondly, please share this broadcast with your family, friends, contacts, Craig and them, Cud and them, share with everybody. Lastly, you can contribute to the success of the broadcast with a financial contribution of only $1.25 a week, $5 a month, or $60 contribution for the year by using the Cash App information that's on the screen, $ live with Vince Eliot. So thank you for helping us to bring information, education, inspiration, motivation, and yes, a few laughs to the world. Oh. Thank you. Hey everybody, it's Vince Eliot. Listen, if you or someone you know has information, education, inspiration, motivation, even if they can bring the funny and you think they would be a great fit for Live with Vince Eliot, we are always looking for interesting guests with interesting topics, whether they're in the arts or whether they're doing some form of business. We want to hear from you. All you got to do is contact us at thevinceeliot@gmail.com. You never know, you could be our next guest. Let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, you've seen her here before, and we bring her back. We bring her back for a reason. That's because she is the doctor that has the prescription that you need when it comes to your business. Yeah, I just made that up. That was pretty good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Dr. Nicole Farmer is here with us today, and she's going to be giving us some helpful information. Yeah, you hear the crowd cheering. Come on, bring her on one time. Dr. Nicole Farmer.
Hello.
She's back.
Thank you.
Let me give you some music because I know you like to come on with some music. Go ahead and just welcome yourself back and tell people. Look at there she goes with her dance. That's the pastor's wife. Anyway, is there anything you want to say to our viewers?
Don't spend the money in Gucci.
Right, let's just go right into it. Don't spend the money on Gucci. What money are we talking about?
Money on Gucci.
What money are we talking about? And why do you hate? And why are you hating on Gucci? You love Gucci.
You know I could be transparent with you, right?
Right, right. And my viewers, because they are my like family.
Right. All y'all family. So I was personally going to take a trip to New York and go to a jewelry store. And the Holy Spirit was like, for real?
That's what you're doing.
And so I had to back off. So I'm with everybody else. I mean, you got this money in your pockets. It's getting hot. It's getting hot outside. You want to look cute. But we got to do something better with the money that really we are being blessed with. This is not the norm. So we have to, be more fiscally responsible with the money that we're getting, both with our stimulus as well as into our companies, into our businesses.
Yeah, and I think it starts with a mindset. Everything really starts with mindset, in my opinion. And I think that we kind of have this way of thinking. I give a perfect example. I was just in a conversation early this morning and with another thinker, right? And, I really wasn't, we were coming back from out of town. It was like 4:00 in the morning and we just talking, while we riding. So my mind wasn't as sharp. And he said, if you only had $1,000 left, what would you do? So instinctively, and this is what I'm talking about with mindset, I said, well, first I got to make sure my family got something to eat. So I'm going to set aside, I might have to sit them down and say, hey, we're going to have to do some ramen noodles and some beans and rice, but we only spending $75 a week to feed 5 people and we're going to eat. And then I'm going to take some of that and invest so I can make some more money. He was like, no. I was like, what? Man, how you going to tell me I can't feed my family? He was like, see, we got to think differently. I'm going to keep all my $1,000 and I'm going to go to a food bank or somewhere and I'm going to get some money for my family. I was like, yes, I can't even be mad that I was wrong. That is what. And so it's all about changing your mindset. Don't automatically go the way of the most popular route. We have to be thinking about some more creative ways on how we can do some things. And then I'm going to let Erica jump in there, but I just want to say hello to Julie Sweetness. That's what her nickname is, Julie Sweetness. Yeah, she's now one of my favorite people. And
Awesome.
so welcome to all our viewers that are coming on, whether you're commenting or not. We look for your comments and your questions. Erica, go for
Well,
it.
I guess my first question would have been, now that we're now in 2021 and that administration has changed, how has that changed for possibly business owners and entrepreneurs?
That's a wonderful question. And I think that, as business owners, CEOs, we have to stay current on the news. What's going on in our administration currently, right now? How are the laws changing? Sometimes it's not just about reading the newspaper or whatever. Look, you can Google, you can go to YouTube. There are plenty of people doing videos to share what is actually happening in Congress, in Senate, how these bills are being passed, and what does that mean for small business owners alike. The one thing that I know that is on the table that everybody is talking about is their stimulus check, right? You're getting this money, $1,400 for yourself, and then possibly another $1,400 or more, depending on, for your children. My question, similar to your friend Vince, was, what are you going to do with that money? Especially what are you going to do for your children? This is the time, if you're getting $1,400 check for your child, why don't we take 500 of that and start a business for them, create a logo, get a website for them, and put them on a payroll under their own company? What if we just took that money out of that stimulus check to do that, and then take the rest of that money and buy some stocks, buy some Bitcoin, buy these things for our children and let them sit on it? I think that we have to look at this free money, which we're going to pay on it at the end.
Pretty penny for it.
Mhm.
But we're not going to think about that right now, because we wouldn't be America if we going to think about the bill today. So,
Yeah.
but what are we going to take this money and do, to help our children? And then what are we going to do to help ourselves? Are you going to take that $1,400 and just go to Gucci, go to Louis Vuitton, buy that bag, buy those shoes that you want? Or are you going to take that money, invest into your business, invest into personal development? Do you need a therapist? It's nothing wrong with getting a therapist. Why don't we
Yes.
use that money so that we can get better within ourselves, so that we can let go of some of this baggage that we've been holding on for some time? Let's use this money, create in more of a way that is going to really actually help us, versus just buying more stuff. And believe me,
Yeah.
I am the first one that's trying to go buy something.
Well, I wanted to say this, as we're talking about mindsets, I think, is the overarching thought with how we do use this money. But, there are people who are, will do exactly what you're talking about. They'll go out and get them some new clothes or Gucci, whatever it is. But I think there's even a larger number of people who will say, and I've been guilty of it, okay, the stimulus is coming in for my children, for the fact that I have children. Well, I'm the one supporting them. So that money that came in because of them is really for me to take care of them. So whereas a lot of us will think, okay, well, I got this extra money for because I got X number of kids. I'm going to use that money because I'm going to be the one paying the rent. I'm going to be the one buying them clothes and food and all of that. Legit, and I think here's where we get tripped up. Everything that's a good thing might not be the best thing. I'm going to say that again. Just because it's a good idea doesn't mean it's the best idea. So like Dylan says here, he has a customer who has done just that. He was referring to what you were talking about in terms of putting that money towards, a business or something like that. So whether you put that money towards a business for your child, I mean, you can make the argument, well, the money came in because of my child. Yeah, but the money came in for you to take care of your child. So whether you put that money in for your child's business or you invest in their college fund, that's all great. I think that's a great way to use it. Or whether you take it because you have the ability to really make a business go, and you take that money and put it towards your business because they're going to be the benefactors of your business. I think either one of those are great choices. But again, last thing you said was we have to think about different ways to do things. And if you don't really have the information or believe, that this is going to be better, going to get that mental help, going to take those classes, and you're looking for immediate gratification, do something different. How's that other stuff worked for you? I mean, I love the way, and I'll end with this. I love the way Deion Cole, he was talking about, you've tried this, try something different just one time in your life. At the time he was talking about people overweight. He said, you've been fat all your life. Just try to be skinny one time. You just see how it feels. He said, you know how that food gonna taste. It's good. Don't eat that. Stop eating that stuff. Well, the same thing applies to our money. You know what it's like to go out and fulfill whatever your desire is. Try something just one time in your life, get educated and go a different route, and just see what'll happen if you do something different with a couple $1,000.
That's true.
I mean,
I
you're
think
absolutely right.
Yeah. I think the biggest question is, because we're talking about that stimulus money, that what Dr. Farmer just said is only going to basically, it only accounts to probably the 10%. Because the 90% we know
don't blow that money.
That's why they're giving it to you. For the moment, because they know you gonna put it right back into the system and give it right back to continue to keep the businesses going that are larger, the Louis and the Gucci's and things like that, things that don't give you any I guess satisfaction besides that moment of, oh, I just bought this, I just bought stuff. So how do you help a person or tell a person, to change that mindset, switch to the other side of just thinking like, oh, doing something different? How do you get a person there?
I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine today, and we were discussing how we used to flow back in the day, and what places we used to go to, and things that we were doing at that time versus today. At some point, like you said, we have to change in doing certain things. Yes, I understand there is also a mindset, especially in the Black community, that tells us that, hey, since we had to fend for ourselves, our children are going to have to fend for themselves, and so on and so forth. And, at some point, when do we say enough is enough? I know me myself, that was my mindset, when I had my first son. But again, I had him at 14, so I was a baby. So, how is this baby thinking? But now as an adult having a child, it's a whole different mindset. This is an investment. Yeah. I'm investing in my legacy. I'm investing in where my name is going to continue. Something that my youngest son said the other day, Sebastian, he said, Mom, I bet you $1 million I'm going to be greater than you.
Wow.
Like, $1 million it is.
I said, bet.
Yeah.
I said, bet.
Yes, $1 million it is.
Yeah.
But look at how that mindset of him, it's like a double dog dare. Like, please, you don't even realize I got, I'm thinking I have time, on him, but in all actuality, he is at a different level than I was at his age. Again, he's 14. I had a child at his age. He has friends who are millionaires. He has friends who own helicopters, parents who owns helicopters and planes. That wasn't my, my level. The other day he went, with his own money, he went shopping, and he went to a local place for a photo shoot. And that's not my mindset. That's a 14-year-old, 8th grade. And people are asking, is he in high school or college? Because of his mindset and where he's going and what he's doing. And so, yeah, I'm like, okay, let's find some modeling places. Let's put these pictures out. Let's create what we need to create for you. It's a completely different mindset, So if we're able to invest in our children on money that is being given to us, why wouldn't we? How is that not going to take them to another level? Which then, quite kept, he's gonna be my Social Security check. So I'm not gonna invest in him and his education and such. And but I had to pivot my mindset in that same breath. And so even in that, now my oldest son, with his stimulus check, he started a business. He started a clothing line. He got his logos done. So what are we really putting into our children? Because that is what reflects on us. And so if we get help, then it helps them. If we are investing in our companies, if we're doing, professional and personal development, if we're using our money in that manner versus running down to Gucci, and believe me, I got the Gucci, I got the Louis Vuitton, that's not the issue. But I have to show them something different. My oldest son, he's on a whole level of everywhere his money goes, it has to be a Black-owned business. It has to be Black.
I love it.
Has to be a person of color. He's not spending his money anywhere else. But where did he get that from? Here I am. I'm helping Black-owned companies. I'm helping to create Black-owned companies. So he sees the importance of keeping his money circulating in his own community. But it's not just because of something that I speak of, but it's an action. It's something that he's seeing. It's an action verb. And so we have to pay attention to these things with our children.
I think there's a couple things that you need to ask yourself. One is, let's say you got $1,400 or $2,800, whatever it is. If the two choices you have go as great as they can go, meaning if you take that 14, 28, whatever it is, and you go and you pay those bills or you buy whatever it is you want to buy, in the best case scenario, what's the outcome? And then if you take that money and invest it and into a business, what's the best case scenario? I think you look at the latter as like, well, hey, because here's the thing. You've been making arrangements on those DTE bills or those gas bills, electrical bills for forever anyway. It's like all your, there's a lot of us, it's just like, you know what? That's going to be, I forgot what comedian said. I forgot a comedian said something.
Since 1979.
Exactly. One comedian said, I don't remember which one it was. He's like, you look at a bill, be like, oh, that's just due. That's not past due. Oh, we can put that over there. We don't even need to worry about that. It ain't talking about shutting me off. So you're gonna make arrangements when you have to make arrangements anyway. Why not just, they're not gonna cut you off if you're gonna come back with that other money some other way and make those arrangements. Take that $1,400 and go ahead and do something different, do something great. And the second thing is that like you said, your son, he's surrounding himself around people with mindsets who think differently. That's why I didn't feel bad or offended when my man said, no, you're not going to take that $1,000 and buy your family any food. You're going to go out and find out who's giving away, bags of groceries from a church or somewhere. And because you're trying to make things happen, and then you're going to use that $1,000 to try to grow you a business or something. So we got to just change our mindset. People we're listening to, having conversations with. If you're spending all your time just ha-haing, no, you need some people who are, thinking above your level. People are in a struggle with you side by side, and then you got to be able to reach down and help some people as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if say for instance, now we have where people have received grants and funding and things like that, or the stimulus, and business owners, not just people, but business owners and entrepreneurs, they may have been, granted these funds to help them during this time, but they didn't use it in the correct way. So what steps can they take now to get, because they went to the Louis and the Gucci, you got to hit on this already.
You might as well send Nike some love, they bought some Nike.
All of them, right. Nike, Foot Locker, all those good stores they like to go to. How can they help them get out of it now, correct it? And
so we're going to pray first.
Yeah,
because your accountant is going to kill you for next year, but that's okay. We're going to pray through it. But seriously, I think that, for that particular business owner, if they're doing something like this, more than likely they don't have separate accounts. Do you have your personal account, and then do you have your business account? You cannot commingle funds. And so when it's time, again, I mean, you have to pay yourself. Let's just be, we're not in business for us just to give the bag away. We're here to, make some money. We're here
Secure
for
the
our
bag.
coins. Exactly. So let's make sure that, in the business account, we're able to write ourselves a check or, pay ourselves into our personal account, so that then when you're going out and you buying whatever, do it out of your personal account and not out of your business account. So that's number one. Number two, make certain that you keep a separate spreadsheet, a shoebox. I don't care however which way you need to create your filing system, but create some type of filing system database on what you did with the money, so that at any point in time when anybody asks the question, well, did you hire people? Make a notation. Hey, I hired John, Sally, and Sue. I'm paying them $20,000 a year each, however which way, and that is where that my PPP money went to.
I spent it.
No,
I went to fast food.
You spent it to it. No, you bought some equipment.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Some equipment.
Exactly.
Right.
Listen, I got that one contract and I was living it up like, yeah, I'm balling now. I'm not saying about me. I'm just talking about that's how some of us do, though.
That's what you did.
No,
that's not what I did.
Let's think about the equipment that we need to purchase. Let's think about all of the utilities that we can pay. Our phone bills, our everything, that's all the utilities. But I also want to kind of switch this, because also start to look at getting more grant dollars. Yes, more grant dollars. I mean, this is the time of our lives. I mean, I do, we should always have respect, and I do show respect for the people who have hurt during this time, who have lost loved ones during this time. I know I personally have lost some loved ones, but I also do know that through our pain, purpose is birthed. And I believe that God is using this time for us to really receive the wealth that is laid up for us. And so if you look at ComcastRise.com, ComcastRise.com, they have several different levels of grant opportunities. They're doing a marketing service and tech takeover. That's closing May 7th. They're doing $10,000 grants in Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, Houston, and Philadelphia. So though they're accepting applications from March 1st through March 14th. And you're able to get further help, technical assistance, by applying. So apply for these things. ComcastRise.com. Also, you can look at Sam's Club has small business grants that you're able to connect to. Verizon has a small business recovery loan recovery fund that you're able to possibly get funding for. They have a restaurant industry relief grant that you're able to connect with. They have people who have children, like child care agencies. They have grants for you. So just Google small business PPP or small business COVID-19 grants and apply for everything. And when you're applying, make certain that you save it in a Word document, because as you apply for more grants, you could just cut, copy, and paste, and life is simple. I've had several clients during this time, and they've literally racked up 80, 90 grand in grant dollars. It is there for us, but it's our time. Like, we really have to go after it and pull it and secure the bag.
Securing the bag. That's what we're talking about today, people. Securing the bag with Dr. Nicole Farmer. She's saying her people getting money. So apparently you need to be one of her clients if you want to secure that bag. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be right back right after this short break, and we're going to talk more about some things you can do, some ideas that you can be prepared with when you get that PPP loan or when you get that stimulus check or your unemployment. Some of y'all stacking dollars or you spending on frivolous things, and you could be securing a long-term future. We're talking about wealth, people, securing the bag. We'll talk about more of that right here on Live with Vince Eliot right after this. Hey, everybody, Vince Eliot saying thank you for tuning in. Real quick, I wanted to invite you to become partners with us and contribute to our success. Our success is your success. One way that you can do that is by subscribing to our YouTube page, The Vince Eliot. Click on the notification so that you are notified when we go live or upload new content. Secondly, please share this broadcast with your family, friends, contacts, Craig and them, Cud and them, share with everybody. Lastly, you can contribute to the success of the broadcast with a financial contribution of only $1.25 a week, $5 a month, or $60 contribution for the year by using the Cash App information that's on the screen, $ Live with Vince Eliot. So thank you for helping us to bring information, education, inspiration, motivation, and yes, a few laughs to the world. Oh. Thank you. Hey everybody, it's Vince Eliot. Listen, if you or someone you know has information, education, inspiration, motivation, even if they can bring the fun and you think they would be a great fit for Live with Vince Eliot, we are always looking for interesting guests with interesting topics, whether they're in the arts or whether they're doing some form of business. We want to hear from you. All you got to do is contact us at thevinceeliot@gmail.com. You never know, you could be our next guest. We're back live with Vince Eliot. I am Vince Eliot, and she is
Erica Mack.
See, you're supposed to let me say she is, or either you say I am. Long. But the
needed to say it. You took too long. I needed to say it.
Anyway, I just want to let y'all know. Y'all see I'm rocking my Look at God shirt. Bam! There you go. Yay! Look at God shirt. I'm rocking that. Listen, you can get a Look at God shirt too. We're going to have Erica put that up on the screen, or my super duper producer can put it up on the screen, some information before the show is over, how you can get your Look at God shirt. They come in different colors and sizes, of course. And shapes and sizes. Got them for the men, got them for the women. Look at God. Okay. All right. So, yeah, get yours today. Prices are reasonable, and it's black business. So get on that. In the meantime, we're talking to Dr. Nicole Farmer today, and she's telling us what to do with this PPP money, this grant money, this stimulus check money. You don't need another pair of gym shoes as bad as you need to start that business, write that book, take that class, do something with your life, man. Come on now. We got to do better. So let's get right back into it. Let's talk about what it is. I know Chandra James said, break generational habits and curses. We got to break them. Chandra James said we got to break those because we're passing that stuff down to our children, and they're making the same mistakes that we made. So we can't have that. And Dylan,
I needed those shoes.
Yeah, right. Okay. Dylan Lovelace says he knows somebody who bought oils for his son and started a business. And so, it's things that simple. Distribution, man. You get it low and sell it high. Let's go. Talk to me. Erica, what you got for us?
Well, that's a great question. I was just thinking about the shoes. Like I needed those shoes. You
had to have those shoes.
I had 3 pair of shoes come to the house yesterday. I'm sorry.
Stop it. Guilty.
I couldn't.
This is not helping the people. We're supposed to be an example. Now, I know you got business. You got business endeavors going. I understand that. And, there's nothing wrong with buying, shoes if you need them. But Dr. Nicole, she's buying 3 at a time.
No, they were samples.
They were okay. All right.
That was my excuse. They were samples.
All right. So I'm going to jump back in by saying this.
Go ahead.
So let's say I get the stimulus check. I need that $1,400, Dr. Nicole. I need that because I'm behind on some things. You know what? You telling me to take that money and put it into something that ain't necessarily going to flip in another day or two. What can I do with that $1,400 that I can feel safe and secure that I'm sowing into my future? Talk to me.
See, now this is just my opinion, but I feel like you have to get ready to stay ready. So take that $1,400 so that you can start to get ready, so that when the opportunity comes, that God opens doors for you, you're able to walk in. Let me give you an example. Let me just give you an example. So the other day, I was having a discussion with my husband and some other friends, and everybody kind of got on my neck because I chose to get the vaccine. And everybody was like, "Oh my goodness, right." Like, "Oh my God, you're gonna die," And I'm like, "No, I'm straight because God got me. I'm cool." But I know what I heard God said. He was like, "I need for you to get ready because when the doors open to the world to travel, you don't need to have anything to hold you back. So I need for you to get the vaccine." So I got the vaccine. Last week, I was on a phone call just to talk about taking my business to another level. That's what I did with my $1,400. I'm now trying to go global. And I'm on this call. And at the end of the call, the person said, "Well, did you get your vaccine?" And I said, "Yeah, I got my vaccine." And they're like, "Well, there's an opportunity to go to India next month.
Wow.
Would you like to go?" I said, "Yes."
Yeah.
You got the India vaccine. You vaccinated, you can travel.
So what if I didn't get the vaccine? Right? I mean, this is just for me.
Right.
Not speaking for nobody else, right? But what if I did not get ready to stay ready? What if I did not? And so think about this stimulus money as far as what has God been telling you to do. He's been telling you year after year after year to do X, Y, Z. Take this money so that you can start going down the road. Because once you start that process, opportunities will start to open up. So am I going to be concerned that, yes, my light and gas bill is behind, which, I rebuke that. But, bills are behind, things are happening. Those things were happening before the $1,400. So what can you put yourself in a situation to change that? I would prefer investing the money, similar to your friend. I was right there with them. I'm like, I could get groceries. I could get somebody even to pay my light and gas bill. There are programs that will pay a light and gas bill for you. There's so many other different programs that can help you, so that I take that $1,000 and invest it so that I can flip it to make more money.
Let me jump in.
People.
I'm sorry. I just want to jump in and make an asterisk to your point. When I found, and me and my wife was just talking about this. And first of all, you all know that we are unapologetically Christian folks. It's not a Christian talk show, but it's a talk show that is ran by Christians. So I'm just going to throw that out there and say this, that every time that I have focused on what I know God told me to do, business just start coming in. I mean, it's happening right now, because I know I'm doing what he told me to do. And I'm getting phone calls left and right. Like, "Hey, I need you to send me a quote on this. Hey, are you still doing, your thing? Yeah, I need somebody." When I start chasing the money, like, oh, things are getting tight. We need this money. I think I'm gonna go pick up a part-time job. When I come up with all those ideas, my business just dries up even more.
Yes.
So quit chasing the money and chase your purpose and what God told you to do. In fact, we got a show coming up real soon talking about purpose, but I won't get on that today. Go ahead with what you were going to say.
Well, I mean, just kind of piggybacking on what you're saying, even now, similar situation. I was literally chasing money all of 2018, all of 2019. And when I tell you it was dry, it was drier than the desert. And once I started to make that pivot in my mindset to say, okay, look, let me just go and do what God's telling me to do. Let me just start
seek ye first the kingdom.
Let me just continue, just to hit this. Let me just do that. Let me just help people. And I started to see something. And then look outside your traditional box. I do business plans and financial statements. That's what I do for a living. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm starting to make logos. Really. I'm doing websites. People are like, "You did your websites? You got all these websites together?" I'm like, "Yes," because I've gone through so many businesses that had to get websites. I understand what that looks like. And then I have a virtual team. Where are they at? In India. So it's like, what is God doing here? you know.
Mm-hmm.
But again, so now I have a virtual assistant company, right? Thinking outside the box. I'm a business coach, but now I can also help get you organized. So now I started to add different other services to my offerings that I know entrepreneurs need, or just individuals need these different things as they're looking to grow and take their business to another level. Everybody doesn't need a business plan, financial statements, but there are other skills that I know how to do. And so maybe you want to go full gusto, right? And I need an office building and I need this and that, but why don't we start with this virtual arena first and provide these kind of services in this manner? You know, me, myself, I felt like just being transparent with y'all, because y'all my family.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling like God was setting me back for a minute. And I'm like, God, what have I done? What am I doing? What's wrong? And now I'm seeing a little glimpse of his vision. My prayer has always been not that I want my own heart's desires, but I want God's heart's desires for my life. And so if
Preach
he
it.
is saying, okay, we're going to do this virtual assistant business, and I'm like, do you not know I'm a business doctor? Like, do you not know, like, I help people get millions, and now I'm going to be somebody's assistant? But then now, here I am. I have a young lady over in India that went from making $200 a month to now making almost $1,000 a month. She bought her first car in her family, like in her and her mother and father never had a car.
You helped her do that?
She bought a washer and dryer.
And that's big.
That's big in India. Yeah.
It's huge.
Horrendous. Yeah.
So how can we, so now my mind is rolling. How can we do our skills, right? All of us can create programs that we can take overseas and now train up people to become entrepreneurs, to help them and become economically, financially fit. I mean, her whole life has changed. $1,000. $1,000 for us is what? But 1,000 to them is like millions, and so I didn't know what God was doing 6 months ago, a year ago. I didn't understand that.
Now look at God. Look at God. Look at
God.
There it is. Look at him.
Look at him.
Yeah.
So listen, if you guys are watching this, we only have a few minutes left, and if you got some questions, Dr. Nicole Farmer is a business consultant, so she can help you with the structure of your business. She can help you with some ideas on how to get your business started. She can help you with a lot of areas, so you can reach out to her at Dr. Nicole at drnicolesfarmer.com. And if you want to have her work with you, then you can do that. Reach out to her that way, or you can call or text her with the number on the screen, and she can definitely be a awesome resource. She says she out here making millionaires. She out and in India she making thousandaires, and that's like a millionaire. So she making she making it happen. So you definitely want to reach out to her. She's one of our regular guests. Well, she's a recurring guest. I'll put it like that. And so I think we talked about having a Dr. Nicole segment that, where she's come on and give us some tips on a regular basis. We got to put that in motion. So Erica, you got the floor.
I spoke that.
You sure did.
The last time. You see how God is bringing it back down here. Look at God.
I ain't even got to say it. I just popped the collar. Bam.
Right. That's how I do it. That's exactly how I do it.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about businesses, just kind of bring this together. And people's like, well, I don't know what you said. Take this and start a business for my child. What business should I start? Where should I start to even start a business? How do I know?
How do I start to start?
Yeah.
I'm so happy you asked that, because a lot of people have been mad because all of these other people getting these PPP checks because they actually started a company, and some of y'all sat there and was like, I ain't gonna have to do my LLC. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. I'm just gonna sell my pies out my trunk. Now you sit there looking like you're missing out on all of this money. Free money is out here. So it's something as simple as going to your state government website and finding the business page and going through the process of doing a limited liability company. Now, you ask, hey, what kind of business should I create? Why don't you have this discussion with your children? Why don't you see what they like? It could be clothing, it could be toys, it could be general business. You can literally just put general business and just start something. Just create a name.
Or you could
My
ask
son,
God what you're supposed to start. Bam, you can ask God, like, hey, what am I supposed to be doing?
look
I
at
think
God.
that
What should
yeah.
right? What should you be doing? What should your children be doing? I originally started a company for my son 2016 or so. I didn't ask them nothing. I did a DNS Enterprise LLC and kept it moving. Now they have picked that thing up and now they're running with it. So sometimes, we can't necessarily depend on our children to necessarily answer that question, but we also have to just take the initiative of just running with the ball. I mean, I don't ask him, do you want to go to the dentist? We go into the dentist,
Right, right.
so it's the same thing. So the LLC, limited liability company. And then the second thing you need to get is an EIN number. You can go to the irs.gov website. You can go right there to the search. It says employer identification number, or you'll see a little tab and you can actually apply right online and you can get that number immediately. Make certain that you save it to your computer as well as email it to yourself so that you will always have a copy of your documents at any point in time. And then from there, go and open up a business bank account. Go take those 2 documents to your bank of your choice and open up the business bank account. Open up the bank account with your children on there and at least start there. Now, all of that would only cost you less than $100, depending on what state that you're in. I know here in Michigan, it's $50 for the LLC. And then it is no cost for the EIN number. So please do not pay anyone to create your EIN number. It is free. You can go on there and do it yourself. It is very simple. And then whatever that the minimum amount to open up a bank account is, $20, $25, $50, then that's all that you have invested. We're talking about a $1,400 stimulus check. And I'm just asking you to put a couple of $100 off to the side to create a legacy for not only yourself, but for your children. One last thing I would love for your people to do is go to Fiverr, Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Okay. Find people to do a logo for $5, $10. Find someone to put a website together for a couple of $100. Create those social media platforms. Do that. So that now when we're talking about giving someone a gift similar to what Erica did, she gave her husband a gift that helped his business. I did something similar for my husband. I started a nonprofit for him, in his father's name. And that was what I gifted him.
Wow.
Let's start gifting businesses, start gifting investments. Let's gift those things to our loved ones because that is priceless. The Louis, the Gucci, everything, it starts to deteriorate. But those businesses will outlast anything.
Yeah, them Jordans I had, I don't have them no more. They was good while I was wearing them, but they expired. So
Absolutely.
Wealth is transferable. Wealth can make more wealth. Anyway, that's our show today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Nicole Farmer, for bringing us wisdom as usual. There's never enough time to cover everything.
It is my pleasure.
Our viewers were a little quiet today. They didn't ask a bunch of questions. They did have a few comments. But if you're watching this on a replay, thank you for watching this as well. We want to remind you guys that we do need your support in many ways. We need you to subscribe. We need you to click the notifications bell. We need you to give us likes. We need you to share this with other people. But we also need your financial support. Didn't talk a lot about that today, but I just want to remind you guys that you can go to Zelle or you can go to Cash App. The information is on the bottom of the screen, scrolling across right now, just going, I think, that way or something like that. Anyway, it's going down about the bottom of the screen, and you can send whatever amount that you want to send. No amount is too small. And definitely what, Erica?
No amount is too large.
You said that like a 4-year-old. And no amount is too large. So thank you again to our guests. Is there anything you want to say in the last 30 seconds, Dr. Nicole?
Look, I want you to know that regardless of you may not know how to do XYZ, just depend on God. He's going to tell us exactly what to do. Follow your spirit. That's him telling you which direction to go. You'll never go wrong.
Oh, great advice. Thank you for that. We're going to ask you to wait for us backstage as usual, and we're going to close the show out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Dr. Nicole Farmer. You saw her information. You saw her information on the screen. If you want to reach out to her and get some help with your business, she is that one. She is got a wealth of information. I've worked with her personally, and I'm gonna tell you, she just scratched the surface here. So if you got some specific questions, we'll put that information back up on the screen, or you can just go back and watch the replay and reach out to her. So thank you for that, Melanie Walker. Great information, inspired. There's so much you can do with that $1,400 when that stimulus check comes. I mean, you could invest in some Bitcoin, you could invest in some Forex trading, or you could go to the casino.
You could invest in me.
Listen, you can go to the casino. I wouldn't recommend that, but there's a lot you can do. Some right, some wrong. So
absolutely, yes.
All right, I think that's it.
I know that was good. I love informative stuff for all the viewers. That is so important. Like, I know a lot of stuff that you and I do, but sometimes people are like, well, how you do it? And did you bring the people on? Like, here, we're giving you the information. Just take it. Take it and do it. Please.
Yeah, people, take the free information.
It's like we're showing you. It's not hard.
Yeah, it's just a matter of commitment, and it's a mindset. And so I have to
reading a couple of lines.
Remind people that you have to don't do what I did, chase the money. You have to chase the purpose and then watch God. I'm telling you what I've seen happen, and I now I'm not going back. I've got to figure it out. Once you do what God told you to do, all the other stuff will come. Quit chasing the money, man. I'll get more calls for people wanting me to do work when I'm doing what he told me to do. I was on one job and somebody was calling me about coming on another job. I'm like, I'm not going to make that job because I'm working on another job. And it's just like, man, look at what? Look at God. Get your t-shirt. Come on now.
Get your shirt. Go to nicegoodsdistribution.com to get your shirt. Nicegoodsdistribution.com.
There it is. Nice Good Distribution. And you can get different colors. And you'll see them on that website, right?
Yes. You will see them there. So I've got some other stuff coming and some other Black entrepreneurs that'll be joining in on the site as well.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right. Tell them what you need to tell them as we go out.
So again, we want to remind every viewer to remember to join us next Tuesday at 7:55. That is next Tuesday at 7:55. Make sure that you are liking and subscribing, and that guess what? We're nothing without God, and this show is definitely nothing without you. So don't forget to join us again next Tuesday at 7:55. We're out.
Peace. Love you.
Have a good one.